Alright, so this is the podcast. Jeremy's not actually here, he's on phone, so I don't know how good you can hear him.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all good. So what are we talking about today? You wanna
We're going to be talking about what makes a character, good characters in video games and what makes a character good in a video game.
Yes, okay, so I'm gonna be playing Among Us while
Playing The Last of Us Part 2.
yeah, and he's gonna be playing The Last of Us Part 2. So, I guess I can. Okay, so first I want to talk about the first thing I want to bring up is that I think, and Jeremy could probably agree on this, that the best characters come from story games. Is that
Yes, that's obvious. My favorite story game is The Last of Us Part 2. I'm guessing, is Red Dead 2.
Yes. Now let's talk about some of the characters in The Last of Us Part 1. Let's start with Part 1. So,
Okay, so in The Last of Us Part 1, there are Joel. You start off as Joel. He loses his daughter almost immediately into the game. And then about an hour and a half in, you meet Ellie. Ellie is this, 14-year-old girl. She is immune to the cordyceps virus. And the cordyceps virus is the virus that turns people into zombies and shit. Wait, I'm allowed to swear?
yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So the cordyceps virus is this. It's wacky and it makes you grow fungus all over your face and stuff. And then, but Ellie's immune to this, right?
Yeah.
So
So I want to talk about Ellie. So I've never played the second one. I've only played like a fraction of the first one. But I know that Ellie is a very lovable character, and the only thing I've seen from her is that she's a little shit at the beginning. Am I correct?
kinda. I still liked her at the beginning because she's funny and her jokes and shit.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't know. But that's what I'm here to learn about.
And then a bit later into the game, I don't know, about 4 or 5 hours later, when it gets to fall, Ellie runs off on a horse, and so you and your brother Tommy have to go find her. And
Okay.
Joel and her really haven't established that big of a relationship yet. It's just kind of like, I'm supposed to take you to this place, nothing too big, right?
Mhm.
So then, when he gets over there, Ellie's sitting there talking, looking at a girl's diary from right before the infection, and then it was like, why does this have to happen? And stuff like that. How everyone this one she says, this is probably my favorite line in the entirety of The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh.
Ellie says, everyone that I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone except for fucking you. And she directs that at Joel, and so,
So that's how you know that she cares for him.
yeah, she cares for Joel. And then, Joel is like, you're right. You're not my daughter, and I'm definitely not your dad, and stuff like that. And he's like, you are going with Tommy, but because Tommy, knows where the Fireflies are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, I'm pretty sure Ellie would have been forced to go with Tommy if a bunch of hunters don't come in. So, Joel is, just there. He's, has to protect her from these hunters because they're, just trying to attack her or something. I don't know. And then, about 2 or 3 hours later, at the end of winter, there's this one pedophile rapist that is chasing Ellie in a building that's on fire.
Okay.
And so Joel is just impaled. Not just impaled. Probably 2 or 3 months before this event, Joel was impaled, and he's still what's it called? Suffering from the the injury, like healing. I mean, and so you play as Ellie for this chapter for the most part. I mean, and like then when Ellie is being like in the building or whatever, Joel is awake because he was just given medication to heal him up better, and so Ellie has to sneak around, and then at this one part, both Ellie and the pedophile rapist, pedophile cannibal.
Oh, okay. I was like, whenever you say pedophile rapist, that's like the same thing.
Yeah, the pedophile cannibal.
So this is a pedophile cannibal we're talking about.
Yeah.
Jesus. Is he as bad as Chief Irons from Resident Evil 2?
Oh yeah.
Is he worse, or is he...
Yes, he's worse.
He's worse, okay.
Yes. Because I'm pretty sure Chief Irons was not a pedophile. He was just a cannibal.
See, like, I mean, this is a very odd topic to talk about, but, like, he was very weird with Sherry. I mean, it's never really confirmed, but the point is that he's a huge asshole. And
he is. And then, can I finish what I was saying, though?
Yeah.
So, at the end of winter, Ellie is being... This guy keeps running up at Ellie and kicking her in the stomach.
Oh.
While she's crawling to get to the machete that's underneath a chair or something. And then whenever, she gets it, and then she, slashes him with it, then he gets on top of him and starts, beating his, head in with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. And then Joel runs in. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to the beginning.
No, it's fine. And this all has to do with Ellie.
Yeah, you know at the beginning of the game, whenever, Joel was, running with Sarah and he was calling her baby girl?
Yeah.
So, at the end of winter, Ellie's like that, smashing it.
Oh shit, we should have probably put a spoiler warning on. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, spoiler warning.
Oops. I'll put it in the title.
Yeah. So, then, whenever they're, so Joel comes in, he, pulls Ellie back, and Ellie at first is like, get the fuck off me, trying to attack him, too. But then he's like, shh, come on, baby girl, and so that's, showing that, Joel also is connecting with her, sees her as his daughter now. And I think that's the second most, I would say that's probably either the most or second most important part of the game.
To see that they're bonding. So, Joel and I want to say that Joel has I personally like Joel because I know a little bit about him because, I played a little bit of the game, but... Oh, wait, real quick, I just want to say this is kind of bad because everyone's grouping together and I can't kill anyone. Oh, I'm the imposter. And everyone's in a freaking group.
Do a group kill.
Anyways, so I want to... is there anything more you want to say about The Last of Us? Because,
I want to talk a lot about, the relationship that happens between Joel and Ellie.
So it seems like that Ellie, what I've seen is that Ellie doesn't like him at first, but
Ellie definitely does not like him at first, but the more and more that, especially after, this isn't really huge because it's just a character that, you only see for about, a fraction of the game, too. So, when you're in Pittsburgh, you meet, these two, guys. One is named Henry. He's probably in his, early to mid-20s. And then his little brother, Sam, who is 13. And then, so at the end of summer, and right after you escape Pittsburgh, Sam has the protection.
Mm-hmm.
And he's turning, and then Joel is like, he's like, him and Ellie were sharing a room, and then Sam and Joel were sharing a room, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And so they wake up to hear Ellie like, help me and stuff like that, and then it's he's turned almost fully, and then I think fully actually, and then Joel, like, they get out into the main room. Joel's standing there with the gun like pointed at Sam, and then Henry shoots a bullet right next to Joel, like, don't, and then he's like, but he's going to kill her, and then
Yeah.
Henry then shoots Sam and then kills himself.
So, and do you think that was necessary, though? Like...
And that kind of makes Joel, like, a bit more scared for Ellie's safety, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, he'll probably get in trouble if Ellie dies or something.
Okay.
He will. By the Fireflies.
So, can you explain a little bit for the people who don't know what The Last of Us is? Who are the Fireflies?
Okay, the Fireflies are this group of people that go around, they try to, basically, they attack this group called the Fedra, which is basically the U.S. government.
Okay.
20 years after the zombie apocalypse that happens at the beginning of The Last of Us.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is that it?
Oh yeah, they're also trying to make a cure, but probably won't go too well.
Yeah, okay. So, now let's talk about The Last of Us Part 2. And now tell everyone your feelings about Abby. How do you feel about her?
Okay, at first, I fucking hated Abby. I wanted to kill her.
I've heard a lot of bad things about her.
Yeah, so about an hour and a half to 3 hours into the game, Joel is killed by Abby.
Yes,
And-
with a golf club.
Yes. And that was hard.
That was devastating for you.
Devastating. I almost threw up the first time I ever saw it.
Threw up.
I almost did.
That's how I felt about Arthur Morgan's... No, not really about Arthur Morgan's, more about John's death in Red Dead 2.
So, yeah.
So, but why do you not hate her as much now?
Because I saw how kind she was to Lev and Yara. Kind of made me feel like she's good. She's not a terrible person. But I don't see why a group of people would that, like, they're basically, their entire life is what's the word? Starts with a D, and it's about, like, focusing in on one thing or something. Dedicated.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Their whole life is dedicated to getting the land in Seattle.
This
and they're
is
in a
taking too
constant
long.
civil war with the Scars or Seraphites. And I just don't see why 4 years after her dad's death, she would go after the killer, because
Yeah.
think of how many people with families she killed. What if all of them came after her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very interesting. So now I want to direct, if it's okay with you, if we moved on to another game series.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to talk about what makes Red Dead good.
Okay.
So the first one came out in
2010.
2010, and it was really good. And then 2 years ago in 2018, the second one came out, and it was even better. If not, I mean, I think, in my opinion, it's twice as good.
It's like 3 times as good.
Yes, but the first one is still really good, so that's saying something. And
But it's kind of obvious. It's a Rockstar game.
yeah, it's rock. So, one thing that I want to point out is that a lot like in The Last of Us, from what I've seen, the characters are really connected with each other in Red Dead.
Yeah.
Especially Red Dead 2, because there's more characters in Red Dead 2.
I'm pretty sure 22 people in the gang.
And there's only in most of the game in the first game you're by yourself. Which I mean it's okay, but as I was trying to that's weird. Black's just sitting out in the corner. As I was trying to explain is that I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh, no, what I'm trying to explain is that the game itself, the second one, isn't just better because of graphics. It's much better in the story. And my favorite character in it is Arthur Morgan.
Well, yeah, that's everyone's favorite character in the second one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because he's a really great character. And I want to explain why. So, this might be, with Ellie, like, maybe or like Joel, one of the characters in The Last of Us. This character has a lot of depth into him. You see a lot of different sides from him. Like, although Arthur is a bank robber, you can also see that he has a kind heart. Especially towards women. Which is very important.
Especially towards women.
Woman. Not women. Not like plural, just one. So, and I think that's really important. And, a lot of the characters do that in that game. Especially with Dutch. I want to talk about Dutch specifically. And, Jeremy hasn't finished the game. So is it okay if I spoil a little bit for you?
You can spoil the entire thing.
Okay,
I
so...
spoiled The Last of Us Part 2 for you.
Yeah, so... Dutch starts off in the second one, and the second one's a prequel. The second one starts off with Dutch being the leader, and he's a great leader. And by the end, he's lost his mind, and he's just a dick to everyone, especially to Arthur. To the point where he leaves Arthur for dead. And I think, although that pissed many people off, I think that is really good, like, a really good static character.
You mean dynamic?
Dynamic. Oh yeah, sorry, dynamic. Very dynamic character. And Arthur changes a little bit. He gets tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. And then Uncle. What's that?
Not as good as
Lumbago.
yeah. Uncle.
So Uncle is kind of a useless character, actually.
I remember in an OIF video, Uncle was in all pajamas or something, and then he had the pajamas with like the little patch on his ass or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then he's at he was talking to the one minister or something. I forget what his name is.
Okay. Oh, I wouldn't know who you're talking about.
The priest, orange hair dude.
Reverend Swanson. Reverend Swanson.
Yeah, where he shows him his ass.
That's great.
It was.
Anyways, so one thing that I'm trying to explain is why these characters are really good. Like I said, very different, a lot of different sides to Arthur. And then there's John, which I think is a better character than Arthur, but I like Arthur better, if that makes sense. What's that?
Makes sense.
Okay. Jeremy likes John better, and that's, like, I mean, completely reasonable, because John's great.
Yes.
And his sacrifice at the end of the first game, like, traumatized. Like, that scene, I watched it the first time. I haven't seen it before I played the game, and it traumatized me.
Yeah.
And it's very violent, but he sacrificed himself for his family, and I think that's really cool of him. And he's in the second one, but he's not as good in the second one. I think.
Not as important in the second one either.
What's that?
He's not as important in the second
No,
one.
he's not as important until the end. He is a little bit important in the end, but he is I like him a lot more in the first one. Although the first one is worse than the second one, I still like his character more, and I do like the characters in the first one too. If anyone has played it, you would know who Abraham Reyes is. I'm guessing you don't know who that is.
Lincoln!
What's that?
I said Abraham Lincoln.
Yep, Abraham Lincoln in Red Dead 1. And Abraham was an interesting character, and he was probably the best part about that game. Javier! We didn't even mention how great Javier is.
Javier's the best character.
He's a really good character. And we don't know why. It's mostly because he's friends with Arthur at the beginning of the second game, and then at the end he becomes his enemy.
Because he's a Mexican, and Mexicans are the best.
Oh my god. And then now I think we all need to talk about Micah, that son of a bitch.
Micah is an asshat.
He is an asshat.
And a half, you're forgetting.
Oh, and a half, sorry. And if you didn't know this, that he's the one who kills Arthur.
Here, I'm gonna shoot this person.
Okay then. Oh yeah, because you're playing The Last of Us. Part 2. But this man, it depends on what ending you choose, but he kills Arthur in different ways, and everyone hates him. He's just a jackass.
They did a good job of it.
They did, though. He is a really good character because you hate him, and that's what the developers are going for. They want you to despise this man.
Yeah, plus, you know why Arthur saves him out of the prison?
Yeah, he does, because Arthur is the great Chad that he is. And then
Micah kills you. Micah, you were gonna die.
And not only that, but Micah was the rat. He ratted out the gang and then went to Dutch and said, "Dutch, I think there's a rat in our gang," and started the whole entire thing. Did you know about that? Did you know about the rat incident?
No, I did not. That is real life. Naughty Dog, you can't fool me. Oh, it's not real life. Naughty Dog, you
Are you talking about The Last of Us right now?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, he ratted out the gang and then blamed it on Molly, so she got shot, but it wasn't her fault. And then Arthur found out, and he told everyone, but Dutch didn't believe him, so he let Micah kill him. Great character bonding and great character development. Now, what's another game you want to talk about?
Henry.
What's that?
Henry.
Okay, so you want Henry from Firewatch, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I know nothing about Firewatch, so you're gonna have to take the wheel on this one.
Firewatch is a 100% story game. There's no enemies. It's a first-person game. No enemies. It's just real life.
Oh wow, really?
It's a mystery about two mysteries go on in the game. One about two girls that disappeared 2 weeks before two girls incidentally were found setting fireworks out in the wild in a place that fireworks aren't allowed.
Oh, okay.
And then also how this one kid, I forget his name, how he went missing. But it's a game about you play as this dude who has his wife has
Now, do you play as Henry, or is this another guy?
No, you play as Henry.
Oh, okay.
Henry the game, like, my favorite thing they did for the story in the game was something like, you know how in a lot of games your character just has amnesia?
Yeah.
For him, his wife has, like, at the beginning of the game, you just choose a bunch of options and shit that, but, like, the game plays out the same every time, but it's, like, that's, like, part of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, his wife has dementia, and you, like, it tells you about his past and how his life has gone since he was in college.
Oh, okay. So
And
that's cool.
It is really cool.
And why do you like Henry?
Well, because, like, he is, like, unlike most video game protagonists, he's, like, always talking.
Yeah.
He talks probably more than Ellie or Joel, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and, like, you get to choose what he says. He's always on his radio with his friend Delilah, which is also a character in the game. She's she works as the fire watcher, and, like, they're the first 2 days, which are probably the two most fun days in the game. Then there's, I think, day 70-something, day 60-something, and then day 70-something. It's not all, like, strung together. It's, like, a 5-hour game.
Yeah, okay.
There's about 5 or 6 days that you actually play. One being probably either the shortest or longest, depending on how good you are at the game. Because it's, like, it's really hard to remember your way around everywhere.
Yeah.
Also, it looks really good, especially for the Switch.
Oh, when did it come out?
I think 2016, 2017.
Oh, okay.
It has I'm pretty sure it's cell shaded. It might not be, but, like, it looks like real life.
Oh, wow, okay.
It at least did to me the first time I played it, but that was before I had any, like, current gen consoles besides the Switch and the Wii U. So, maybe not.
Okay.
I can't remember. I haven't played the game in, like, a year. But, yeah, Henry, his wife has dementia, so he's taking a job to kind of just get away, have his own time, because his wife, Julia, is, no offense to her, but, like, kind of crazy.
Yeah, okay.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like she, one day she lended her books to her friend or something, and then yelled at him for having her books.
Oh.
Because she forgot. So yeah, that kind of happened, and then like.
Is that a cat in the game, or or is that Caliente?
It's Caliente.
Oh, hi, Caliente.
Hi, Caliente. But yeah, so Henry, he's taking this job to kind of get away, kind of relax for the summer, and then like he's just on his first day, he's just walking around, kind of just making sure nothing's going wrong, and there were the stupid girls shooting fireworks in the sky, and then then the second day is him because the girls cut out his power. And then the third day is you boarding up some windows, I think, because some guy threw your typewriter out the window. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this game takes place in modern day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like in the future or in the past.
Dang it, dude. Okay, good. Never mind.
Is it because we have like a game in the future and then a game in the past already?
No, Purple vented and then did a hold on. And then did a thing. So I couldn't call emergency meeting, but it's all good.
Yeah, so what was I gonna say?
What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, and so like the third day is just him putting up some boards on his window, Then there's the next day that you play is you I forget what it really was. Nothing like they think they're being tracked, Delilah and Henry, because they heard some static, and then one day Henry just got knocked out.
Oh, okay.
And then you get an axe, but it's not like a weapon or something. It's just to run around with for like 20 minutes. And then you go through this cave because you've been near the cave before, but it's like blocked off and locked because there's like a metal door there. But then you get the key to open the metal door, and then you go in, and then you find this one kid's. Delilah was friends with this one little kid, like 14 years old, I'd say, 15 maybe, who was like at the place with his dad, and then afterwards you find some things to holster your ropes on, which is really useful because the ropes are really useful.
Mm-hmm.
And so then, a bit later, you go through the cave, and you find this kid's dead body.
Oh, crap.
And, not gonna lie, it was, like, the first time I, like, saw a skeleton in a video game, like a realistic skeleton in a video game. I was scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was also, like, 11.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. It's probably about $20.
Oh, okay. So another thing I want to talk about, I don't think you've ever played this. Another game is Watch Dogs. I want to talk about Aiden Pierce. Aiden Pierce is a really good character, but he's just good. He's not amazing. You know what I mean? He's very I want to say he's dynamic, but you see a lot of depth in him.
Wait, did you get this, like, downloadable or disc?
Downloadable.
Okay, so I can play it on Xbox sometime?
If I get your home Xbox back sometime.
Yeah, that will probably happen as soon as possible, which is... Wait,
Okay,
I have your...
back to the point. But his backstory was that his niece, that he's a hacker, and he was on a really big job with his friend, and his servers got hacked. So Aiden was like, you know what, I want to call off the job. Like, it's not worth all the money. And the friend that he was hacking with, which is Damien, he got really mad at him, and he sent someone to go attack his family. And they ended up killing his 8-year-old niece. Or not 8, but she was little. And
That's ass.
that it is.
Total ass cheeks.
What's that?
Total ass cheeks.
Total ass cheeks. But and that's really powerful to see.
Total, like my car.
It's very powerful to see a child get killed in a game. That's why.
The way you say it makes it seem like it's powerful, like a good thing.
Like that's a reason why a lot of people got really scarred whenever they first played The Last of Us. Like, that's a very strong beginning. And that sets the tone for a lot of people for the rest of the game. And
Yeah, that moment when you only need one more drug to heal yourself.
Jeremy, what?
It's
Anyways,
I have
anyways,
39 drugs and I need 40.
okay. So let's see here. Okay, so and for the rest of the game, you use your hacking skills for good, and you